Hello, this is a level design breakdown of my level The Sniper. So here I have a central axis with guiding lines leading forward, and I'm guiding the player to the left using the bench with the guiding line, and the roof up there. It's also pointing to the left. And here I'm using the trash to guide the player this way rather than that way. And there's my landmark, the cathedral, and the cannon is pointing that way. Also the cliff down below, they're forming guiding lines pointing to the cathedral. In this square I'm using radial symmetry to get a better understanding of the space. And I'm breaking the symmetry with the tall building over there. Also with the tree and the lanterns. I'm also guiding the player that way using the statue pointing that way. And the floor tiles are also leading this way. Here's a view of the river and mainly the bridge. I'm using guiding lines in the cliff pointing to the bridge. So here's another square. Here I'm using a central axis with bilateral symmetry, and I'm using rhythm with the with these boxes and the trees on the sides to get a sense of progression. And the gate over there, it's standing out using hierarchy of size, also placement. It's placed a bit to the right of the other buildings on this side, and also by shape. It has a different shape compared to the other buildings. Here I have a central axis with bilateral symmetry, and I'm breaking the symmetry with the lion. So the statue is complete over here, but it's broken on that side. Also, the shape of this this part is different. It's pointing more outwards. So here you get a view of the landmark again. So I have a lot of guiding lines in the cliff, all pointing to the landmark. Also the small pigeons, they look over there. So here I'm trying to guide the player to the right using the statues pointing over there, and the palm over there is leaning a bit to the right. The tiles in this street are leading that way. Also the trash is kind of preventing me from going over there. Here I'm using a rhythm again with the palm trees and the benches to get a sense of progression. I'm using the pieces on the floor to guide the player to the right. Here I get a view of the landmark again. So I'm using the telescope here to make me want to look that direction. I'm also framing the cathedral between the flags, and the pipe on the roof is slightly bent, pointing to the cathedral. And all these beams on the solar panels, they're also pointing that way. Here I'm trying to guide the player to the big entrance, so it's different by hierarchy of size. And the guiding lines on the cars and the lamppost, they're leading to the entrance. So here I'm using more guiding lines. The computer on the floor and the paintings, they're pointing to this doorway rather than that way. Using a similar thing here with the guiding lines down the stairs. And here all the furniture is pointing that way, also the carpet. So the fence is broken and you can see somewhere to jump down to. And ooh, a sniper is aiming at me with a laser pointer. So I'm gonna continue this way. I can see the landmark in the background, the church. And here I'm using guiding lines with the cars and also planks on the floor and trash to get the player up the stairs this way. Here I'm using hierarchy by size of the entrance in this hotel. Here I'm guiding the player to the left. I'm using hierarchy by shape of the doorway. It's round compared to the other square doorways. And some furniture like this stool is pointing that way. So here I'm guiding the player over here. This building is standing out by hierarchy of placement. There are no other buildings around it. And also by shape, so the arched doorways and windows. You can't see them anywhere else. All the other windows are square. And I'm using guiding lines by the car and these boxes to guide the player this way. And if you don't go this way, go out here, you will notice that you don't really have anywhere to hide. So it's kind of a long distance to go further without getting shot by the sniper. So here's a bar. And here I'm protected by the table and the parasol from the sniper. So here I've angled all the furniture to point forward, forming guiding lines here. And I've framed the stairway by the car and this trash bin. Here I'm also leading the player forward with the rhythm, with the carpets, and also guiding lines with the paintings. Similar thing here, where the height of the paintings is the same height as the windows. So here you get a view of the landmark, and I'm guiding the player to look at the landmark with guiding lines on these chairs, this sunbeds, and the planks over here. Also the pigeons are looking up to the cathedral, and also is the stork over there. And then you can see that the fence is broken. Here all the furniture is pointing up to the stairs, and the paintings they form guiding lines pointing at the doorway. Here we get a last view of the landmark and the tower where the sniper is. And you climb the ladder And then you kill the sniper. Yay. Thank you.